Hi, I'm Lisa Bardot, and today we're going to be talking about the Procreate 5.4 update. I have a preview build of the software. It's not out yet, and we don't have a release date for when it's coming, but I wanted to tell you about some of the new features. I just got a new build, so there's some even new stuff to some of my previous videos that you've seen, so let's get into it. Okay, I am opening the latest preview build of Procreate 5.4. This screen is new. It's nice to have a little bit of feedback when the brushes are being upgraded. There's a big overhaul on the back end of Procreate brushes for this version of the software. So there's some updating that needs to happen, and that's what's going on here. In the previous build, we didn't have this type of feedback, so this is really nice. Okay, so now we have an option for where we want to store our brushes, whether that's going to be on iCloud or on your iPad. And I think I'm going to choose the iCloud option because I haven't used that before, so I want to try it out. I've been testing out this software for quite a few months now, so let me just show you what some of the new features are. Let me open up a canvas. And the biggest changes are, of course, in the brush library. So when you open them up, you're going to find this entire new brush library. And these are all brand new brushes that were developed by Kyle T. Webster. They're really amazing. So there's all these new brush sets. There's 18 sets. And in this version of the update I just got, there's actually even more brushes. There used to be 8 per set, but now there's 10 per set. So lots and lots of brushes to play around with. And these brushes are really, really fantastic. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun playing with these. I'll do a brush tour in another video, but I wanna show you all the rest of the features first. So the big change is organization here. We now have brush libraries. So you can actually use a pinching gesture and pop out and you'll see individual libraries. So we've got our new Procreate library, which is the all new brushes. And then we have the classic library, and these are the, the older built-in brushes. So you might might see these are very familiar. And this is also where you'll find all of your custom brush sets. So if you have created brush sets, purchased brush sets, imported them, you're going to find them here in this set. So it's really easy to kind of, use these gestures to switch between. And then you can also create totally new brush libraries. You can tap this little plus sign here and you can create a new library. You can import one from your files, so you can actually import a whole bunch of sets at once, which is really cool. So if I click create or tap create new library, you can give it a name. We'll just call it test and then tap apply. And when we go in there, we already have like a blank brush set to start creating brushes, which is pretty cool. Another really cool thing is that you can actually customize this icon here. So we can tap this and choose customize icon, and you can choose one of these little icons. Each of the brush sets also has a recents folder, and it's individual for that brush set. So you can go to your recent brushes for that particular library, I should say, for that library, which is pretty neat. If I wanted to import a brush library, I could do that by tapping the plus sign and choosing import from files. And I have one saved here. Let's see. Here, saved library. So this is a library I've created with all my Bardo brush sets. So I can just tap that. And it might take a minute, but it'll import. That was actually really fast. And here's my Bardo brush library, which is really awesome. I'm hopefully gonna use this as a way to deliver like my master bundle, my complete collection of brushes in one easy go. That's the idea. So I gotta make sure that's all gonna work out. Another new thing is these little icons here, and I have to tell you a really fun story about when I went to Tasmania. So I have a video up on my YouTube where I went into a previous version of this beta, showing you all the new features, and let me pull up an older version of the software. And it looked kind of like this. I like to use emojis in my brush set, so it like makes it easier to find them because I'm a visual, colorful person. But it looked like this, where like we had the icon and then the emoji, and it's a little bit messy and clunky. And I mentioned that it would be really cool if we could change this to an emoji in my YouTube video. And when I went to Tasmania, it turned out they'd seen my video and they're like, come here, we got to show you something. And they basically made it so that now we can have the emoji there as the icon because of what they saw in my video. And I was like, you guys are amazing. And it was just like a really, really cool moment. Another highly anticipated, much requested feature is brush search, which you'll find now in this version. So if you swipe down from the top, you'll get this search bar and you can type in anything you want. So I have a couple brushes with gritty in the name, and it will pull up all of your brushes from all the different libraries that have that search result in them. And then you can tap on any of them and it pops you straight over to that brush and you can start using it. Love this feature. It's going to make it so much easier to find things. Another new feature comes in the color picker, and it's this history bar. If you have a bigger iPad like I do, you might already be very familiar with this, but if you have like an iPad mini, this had previously not been available to you because the screen was smaller, but now all the iPads have it, which is really cool. And then finally, there's some new settings in the Brush Studio. So let me zoom out. In this test library I have, I'm going to create a new brush. You just tap the plus sign and tap Create New Brush. So if you've never been in Brush Studio, this all might be a little foreign to you, but if you are familiar with making brushes, this is very exciting because it means new possibilities for how our brushes work. So some of the new things are we have jitter lateral and jitter linear, and basically that makes the jitter go laterally against the brush stroke, or jitter linear, so along with the line. So you kind of have more randomness that you can put into your brush, which is really exciting. I guess have control over the randomness, you could say. In the shape tab, we have some other jitter settings right here, roundness, vertical jitter. So you can adjust how the roundness of the brush stamp, individual stamp jitters that way. And then also horizontal. So again, this is going to give more randomness to each little stamp of a brush stroke, which is great. Under the rendering tab, we have some new options down here. You can turn on alpha threshold and adjust the amount. And this would look much more apparent on a brush that has texture in it. So let me open up a different one. So this is a brush from my Playful Painters. It's very soft, as you can see. And so what Alpha Threshold is going to do is it's going to make, instead of all the pixels being, you know, some are opaque and transparent, some are more solid, and it gives this nice kind of soft effect. This is going to make everything either black or white. So on or off, basically, for these pixels. And so you can kind of choose, you know, how much of the threshold it does. And this is great for like pixel brushes especially, or if you just want like really, really crunchy texture, you can adjust this alpha threshold. And if we go over to the Apple Pencil tab, we now have this pressure curve, and so we can adjust the pressure curve control on a per brush basis. So if you wanted to adjust the pressure of the brush, you can move this curve around and play around with that. And just really have very fine control over the way that the pressure behaves for your brush. And then finally, this is brand new for this build, which I'm very excited about. But we have this preview tab. So we have a new tab here in the Brush Studio. And basically this allows us to control how the brush preview looks when you're like looking at it here. So let's see. So there's my brush. I can use this slider to adjust the size, and you can see it update right there if I want it to appear very big. This has always been there. It's just been in, I think, the Properties tab. And then the pressure minimum. So if you turn that up, it's acting like there's no pressure at all. If we have it turned down, it's going to show at the ends like what very light pressure looks like. So that's what that is. So you can kind of adjust that. The pressure scale, like how much pressure is used overall in the whole stroke is kind of what that's doing. If you have wet mix options, which this brush actually does, you can turn on what that would look like. So you can see it looks a little bit more diluted there. Might be cool to have a slider to adjust like how wet it looks, because my brushes are this one in particular is like pressure sensitive for wetness. So That might be cool. And then of course we have tilt angle, and this brush doesn't really have tilt settings. So let me show you one that does. I'll go into like my pencil box. So here I have sketching pencil. If you hold it upright, it looks like that. If you hold it sideways, or you tilt it, I mean, you get kind of this shading. And so if we adjust the tilt angle, it's gonna basically represent what angle you are holding your pencil at in this little preview. So that's what that is. And then another big change actually comes on the back end, how things are actually stored in your Files app. So if I open up, this is the folder for Procreate for this build. We have a brushes folder, and right now it's empty, but this is where your brushes would be if they were being stored on your iPad. In fact, I'll show you this other version. And if I open up the brushes folder, I can see folders for all of my individual brush libraries. And then if I open up this Bardo brush one, for example, I have a folder for all of my brush sets. And then inside that, we have a file for each of the brushes. So it's much different than how brushes used to be structured. You just would have your, brush sets as brush set files. So a lot more organization there. And if you choose to store your brushes on iCloud, you would go to your iCloud drive and you have a folder for your Procreate brushes. This is the one for this particular build. And inside you'll find the same thing. You'll find all of your brush libraries, each of the brush sets, and then all of the individual brushes. The great thing about iCloud is that it is always backed up. So you don't have to worry about if Procreate, accidentally gets deleted or something like that. Your brushes are always going to be stored on the cloud, which is great. So a lot of really cool updates coming for Procreate 5.4. We don't have a release date for when this is all coming, so just stay tuned and I'll let you know as soon as I know. But if you are into brushes, collecting brushes, making brushes, if you're a brush hoarder like some of us, like me, you are really going to love this update. So many great features to help just make everything a lot better, make the experience better, make stuff easier to find, easier to organize. Very, very exciting. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Lisa Bardo, and I help people find their creativity through drawing and painting on the iPad. If you'd like to support my work, I hope you'll check out my premium brush sets that inspire creativity at bardobrush.com. And if you want to take your learning to the next level, you should join Art Makers Club. Art Makers Club is a joy-filled creative community and learning hub for Procreate artists. We have a growing library of courses and tutorials, live events every month, a ton of Procreate brush sets and digital goodies to keep your creative juices flowing, and the kindest, most supportive members cheering each other on. There's always something new to learn and do. Come join us in the club. You can learn more at artmakersclub.com. If you like this video, please like and subscribe so you'll be the first to know about future tutorials. And check out one of my other videos. Thanks, and have a great day.